Right, so we're going to talk about Cardiff City. In my opinion, I think it's not a good time to be playing them.
Subscribe to Josie and Steve. Get on it, come on.
Alright, lady boys, welcome back to another video on the channel. In this one, we're going to be taking a look at Sunderland's 3-1 victory down at Hayward Park and also previewing the up-and-coming Cardiff game, which is on a Sunday. Before we start though, do us all a favour, everybody, if you can, hit the thumbs up. It really does mean a lot. Right. Where do we start? I'm going to quickly talk about the victory against Blackburn, then we'll move on to Cardiff. Listen, I've seen a lot of people say that could have been 2 or 3 up in the first 20 minutes. Listen, came on us like a steam train. They started the press high, and Sunderland at times it was back to the wall defending, and Dan Ballard, which is happy birthday to you, Dan, because it's his birthday today. He was making some really good clearances, as was Trey Hume off the line. But you've got to credit the defence. I would say, yes, Cardiff had some, Blackburn had some really good chances, but also, in the other hand, it was really good defending by Sunderland. So, listen, it's a team game, so you can't just say that there could have been 2 or 3 up. You've got to look at other factors that were involved in the game. Solid defending by the lads. Yes, a lot of their play did come down our left-hand side, and Huggins was having a little bit of a nightmare, especially in the first half. He did improve vastly in the second half, and that's just down to how much little time he's had. Game time, basically, how much little time he's had on the pitch. But the lads carried on, they weathered the storm, but did get an early penalty, which, yes, it was a penalty. You know, it was the same player who kicked Jack Clark in the previous game at Hayward Park. We didn't get a penalty that time. They went down the other end and scored, but we did get a penalty this time, and Jack Clark, cool as you like, put it away. The next goal, obviously it was their goal. It was apparently meant to be offside, and I was listening to BBC Newcastle, and Gary Bennett was saying that the linesman got mistaken by a steward because of the colour of our shirts, which it was funny, a bit tongue-in-cheek. But apparently even Mowbray said the linesman wasn't in line, so he couldn't have made the decision. So it was obviously left down to the referee, and he got the wrong. Well, I haven't seen that angle what was clear cut, but apparently Huggins was keeping them onside, so it did have a torrid first half. And anyway, they scored from it. Good header. Listen, there were 2 very evenly matched teams. I think Blackburn's a very good team, and the manager says he's been letting them play with freedom, and you could say that. I tell you what, Smodics is he's outstanding player. But in any way, our goals came from Jack Clark, Dan Neil. And Dan Neil, he took his chance really well. He sort of set the dummy as if he was going to shoot earlier. He then got into the box and then pulled his shot across the keeper. Really good finish. And he was my man of the match. Listen, you could have given man of the match to a numerous amount of players. Ballard, rock solid. Hume, outstanding. His delivery into the box it's unbelievable. The way he whips that ball in, it's so inviting. And maybe if we had Hamir on the pitch, I understand that Mowbray gave Burstow a different role. He said drop deep a little bit rather than being that out-and-out striker. And you could clearly say that the first half. And that brings us on to the Jack Clark goal. I've got to mention this one. His composure, it was absolutely unbelievable. How he got into the way and he cuts inside, and he sort of guns past about 4 or 5 players, sits the keeper on his arse and puts it at the bottom corner. No worries, just hold on to that ball, didn't panic, didn't get a shot away, and just waited his time, put it away. Absolute unbelievable. Shows his composure, and it just goes to show that £7 million was just absolute terrible offer. The first offer what Burnley offered for Jack Clark. He's obviously stopped rising as the game's gone on. But quickly, briefly, the Blackburn game, it was you could tell we've had a year's experience in the Championship in that game. I did get the young players, but they've learnt a lot, and they didn't fold with the constant pressure that Blackburn was showing in the early stages of the game. They just held off. They soaked it all up, and then they took our chances. I know Blackburn had a hell of a lot more chances than us, but we were more clinical with our chances, and we did put them away. Yes, there was great goalkeeping by Patterson, who could have got man of the match, and there was last minute defending as well. But nonetheless, listen, I'm glad we got the 3 points, because any other day Blackburn would have won that game. Sunderland would have won the game. It's, you know, it was a very even game. Also, Patterson signed a new contract today as well, so happy days on that one and all. Right, so we're going to talk about Cardiff City. In my opinion, I think it's not a good time to be playing them. They're playing with a momentum. They're playing with a good team spirit. The fans are behind them. I would have minded playing them at the start of the season rather than now. They did get beat off QPR, believe it or not, on the first game of the season. They also lost to Leicester City 2-1, which you can understand that one. Just come down from the Premier League. There was not too much expectations that they'll get anything there. Then they did beat Sheffield Wednesday, but Sheffield Wednesday are really struggling. They went on to lose against Ipswich. Ipswich are flying. I've got a funny feeling they're going to be there and thereabouts come the back end of the season, mate. So looking at it, I think 3-2, scored 2 goals, played canny well. On any other day, they probably might have nicked a point there, but then that's where the momentum started. Like I say, the team taught what the manager gave. They beat the rivals 2-0 in a kind of comfortable performance as well. Obviously, the young lad who's just undergoing contract talks now to tie him down to a new deal, Ollie Tannen. Like I was saying, the team taught what the manager gave. It's inspired them. They've took the instructions on board and they've been playing more direct football. They've been getting in behind. They're a big physical team. When the ball gets played out of the top, 9 times out of 10, they're winning that ball. He got in the score sheet in the last game against Coventry, as did Loney Colin Grant. He's a big player and all. He won a class header. And they beat Coventry 3-2, but the game before that, they'll be out of the moon with this one. I think that's where the team talk came into play, and the sort of put the manager's instructions into play, and they have battered the bitter rivals 2-0 to beat Swansea. And they'll be happy the fact that Swansea are now in the relegation zone and they play Sheffield Wednesday on the weekend. But in any way, Cardiff, like I said, it's going to be a hard game. I didn't really want to be playing them when they're playing with this momentum. Cardiff are second in form for home form, that is. They're really good at home, but away form, they're not as good as. Listen, Cardiff have scored in every single game this season. They've scored in every game. They've only kept 1 clean sheet though, and that was against Swansea. So they did concede, but they're also scoring every game. So I think it's guaranteed odds on both teams to score for this game. I do feel as if our players are going to be a bit too much for them, because we scored the joint top most goals this season. I think it might even be, it is the joint. We've scored 12 goals and a striker hasn't scored one of them. So we are playing without a striker, and that brings us on to Sunderland. Believe it or not, I've still seen people whinging on social media, either it be Twitter or Facebook. Listen, it's a results business. And on the pitch, we're winning games, we're scoring goals. There's no to be whinging about, man. What the f*** have we got to be whinging about? Nout. Like I was saying, regarding the striker situation, it's a tough one. Burstow, that's how you say it. I keep saying Barstow for some reason, but Burstow, you obviously had different instructions from Tony Mowbray. He was being told to drop deep and sort of help out in the midfield, and even he was coming back so far to defend. I was even seeing him at points, so he wasn't that out-and-out focal point we were looking for, that target man, where I feel as if Hamir was on the pitch, he would have been that target man. I probably would have started Hamir over Burstow. He's been at the club longer, he had a good pre-season, he was scoring really good headers, and I feel as if once he gets one, a lot of goals will come for Hamir. It's a confidence thing, and I was very surprised that he didn't bring on Hamir in the later stages and go like for like, but he brought on Roberts. And I was scratching my head a little bit at that one. I was thinking, well, why you went for Roberts when we've got Hamir on the pitch? But it was probably just to put that extra man in the midfield. And listen, Roberts' creativity, his little give and goes with Pritchard and the other players on the pitch, Hume on the overlap, I thought as if he could unlock their defence. And that's exactly what we were doing. We were unlocking their defence and we were pulling their defenders all out of the knot, and they didn't know whether to stick or twist at points, especially with Clark. Clark, my God, the way he travels with the ball, it's enjoyable to watch. It sort of sticks to his leg when he runs, and he doesn't knock it far, and it's just there with him. He's obviously got the pace to beat a man, but I think it's his skill that beats the man. He does a little step overs, cuts inside, and the defender's gone. He's gone. And his third goal just proven that. And he didn't just beat one, he beat 2, 3, and the goalkeeper. Showed a lot of composure. And he's got 5 goals this season, which is unbelievable, considering we're on so many games in at the season, 7 games in. And he's got an amazing amount of goals. Dan Neil's solid. Job done a job when he had to drop a little bit deeper into Ekwa's spot. I wonder if Ekwa's going to be back for Cardiff, or will it be too soon? Because Mowbray did see a 1 or 2 games, so I'm not 100%. If so, then you've got to bring. That's where the headaches start to come, because you've got to bring Ekwa back in, because he's probably one of our best players this season. And then obviously Job keeps his spot, push him further up. But then who misses out? It's either Dak, Job, Pritchard. Pritchard has been so instrumental in us this season when he's been coming in off the bench. Against QPR, we went up levels when Pritchard came on, but starting against Blackburn, he didn't have the best start, but the full team didn't. That was probably down to Blackburn's press, how strong and fast and at home they were just pressing us, pushing us back. So really, who misses out? I'm glad it's not my headache. I'm glad it's Mowbray's. Still need news on RUSYN as of making this video, so we'll probably get news if visas come through. I didn't know what the hell up is. I really didn't. Yous will know more than me, or we'll all know when the club tweet that it's sorted and he's ready. But looking at it for the strikers situation, opinions are like arseholes. Everyone's got one, and this is mine. I would like to see Heley start. I think the lad needs to get more game time. That's all it's about Heley. He's been getting and creating some good chances. He just hasn't been putting them away. Begovic was making some outstanding saves against QPR. Southampton probably should have scored in the later stages. But listen, I'm not going to be too critical of him. I think the support should be there for him. Instead of putting it into his feet, just put the ball on his head. He's really good in there. That's where I think he is best. That's where I think we'll see the best in him here when the ball's in the air. And he will hit the target. But I'm glad that's not my decision. Right, so with that being said, I've gone for Sunderland, very close to 1 win. I think Sunderland will win this game, and we will go on to make it 4 wins on the bounce. That's it for me. Just a nice quick little preview for Sunday's game. I will be doing a match vlog. I'll be at the statue about 2:30. If you want to get on the channel, come down and just ask us and we'll get you on. That's about it. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you're new. We'll see you in the next video.